gonna make some moves tonight. You stand up, got something to prove tonight. So stand up, we ain't gonna plan tonight. We gonna take action on our dreams and fight, alright. We ain't gonna stall, never stop. We gon' make it all till the top. We ain't gonna plan tonight. We gonna take action on our dreams and fight, alright.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to MLS Sportswriters React, and it will be Sportswriters with a plural on there. We're just working a couple of kinks out real quick with Halen as far as connectivity goes. But welcome to an earlier edition than what we normally run with today. We're going to be doing something a little different. By this, what we mean is we're going to be doing a live stream react of the U.S. men's national team in their match against Costa Rica in the CONCACAF Gold Cup quarterfinals. A lot of people have been kind of curious to see how this is going to play out. Halen and I are going to be breaking down the game plan, the expectation, our predictions on this, how this is going to go. Right now, the U.S. team is heavily favored, about 3-1 odds on this. There's a lot of reasons for that. The goals for, goals against. The question is, in this case, how strong will Matt Freese be? There is a lot of things going on as far as basically what the U.S. men's national team can do. Now, in this particular case, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk a little bit also before the match starts up. We will be talking about the match between Canada and Guatemala. Guatemala pulled off a little bit of an upset, thanks in large part to Jacob Schaffelberg, who ended up getting 2 yellow cards in the first half and was ejected and got a red card. And suddenly, what do you know? Guatemala moves on in penalties. So taking your comments, taking your thoughts. Also at halftime, we have a pretty cool announcement we're going to have. This is an announcement a little bit more geared towards NYCFC fans. But a lot of you basically back in the day would say yes to this. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. And from there, like I said, we got a couple things on the horizon. So before we get into everything going on with the U.S. men's national team, I want to share the lineup real fast. Talk a little bit about what they're going to look at right here. Right now, Matt Freese is going to be back in goal. He had that burp the other day that everybody knows about. But otherwise, it's mostly the same lineup. We got Agamon still in there, Diego Luna, Malik Tillman, who currently leads the team with 3 goals. He's going to be basically up on the wing on this one. It's just going to be interesting because on the other side of the fence, of course, sorry about that. On the other side of the fence there, this is the lineup we've got. Alonso Martinez on the right side. So the question remains, in this case here, what will Alonso Martinez bring against Matt Freese? Is this going to be one of those things where it's going to be a little bit similar to, shall we say, that one episode of Ted Lasso, which, by the way, thanks last week to the commenters who reminded me who it was, when Danny Rojas had to take on Zorro and said, basically, we are no longer friends. I'm going to make you my bitch. Which, in this case here, the question I have for NYCFC fans, if you are a Matt Freese supporter or an Alonso Martinez supporter, who are you rooting for here? You know, you have the striker who's currently tied for NYCFC with the lead for most goals in the season right now, currently sitting at 8 alongside Hannes Wolf, against a goalkeeper who basically right now is the #1 goalkeeper by a lot of accounts in the United States overall. So my question to you is, what do you expect out of today? What do you think is going to happen today? Do you have any predictions? Do you have any thoughts? Like I said, Halen will be here forthwith. We're going to talk a little bit about the game plan there. But for right now, I want to swing over for a quick second before this game starts. I want to talk a little bit about what happened earlier today. Guatemala, like I said, Schaffelberg, right before the end of the first half, ends up picking up a second yellow card, and it completely changes the dynamics of this game. And Guatemala, honestly, I didn't expect them to be able to pull this win off. 3 shots to 2, 11 shot attempts over 5. So basically, they really put the ball on net. But again, do you think this team could have basically won any other way? You had a Canadian team here who had 9 corner kicks and still could only convert 1 goal. Will this be a problem with the U.S. men's national team today? We don't know. Will this be something that we look at the scoreboard, we look at, what happens here and who's moving on? I want to get your thoughts. So, like I said, we're going to go back to the lineup there. We will be basically running this game all the way through. I will not be streaming it, no, because in this case, that's such a serious no. I do not want to get this channel blocked. I do not want to get this channel shut down. So sorry if you guys are sitting there wanting to see this thing live or however it's going to be. I can't really make that happen. It's kind of a legal thing, and Fox Sports has lawyers that are way better than my own. So apologies for that. Anyway, I think with this particular match, I'm pretty sure Matt Freese has put behind him the gaffe that happened the other night that led to the goal there. The team still won in spite of that. Weirdly enough, actually, when I was up at the NYCFC training facility on Thursday night, I met up with NYCFC 2 goalkeeper Mac Learned, who I got to know a little bit there. We did talk a little bit about the goal, but we also talked about Freese's composure. He saw the mistake. He recognized the mistake right out of the gate. He did not let it hold against him. Yeah, the game right now is on FS1. If you have a cable provider, you can also watch it on, like, say, Fox Sports. You'd have to log in, basically go to foxsports.com and then log in with what your cable provider is. Hulu, I believe, has an option for that. YouTube TV has an option for that. But otherwise, yeah, it's on FS1 on regular cable, or you can watch it on foxsports.com, which is actually where I'm going to be running it from on this end of the fence. I think we have just gotten underway. We're a couple minutes in at this point. No score at the moment here. This game's underway pretty quick, isn't it? So currently 1 offsides at this point for the U.S. Nothing's happening otherwise. No shots on goal. No anything of any sort. And again, I can't actually live stream this because I will get in copious amounts of trouble. So, but again, what do you think here? Do you think NYCFC can win? NYCFC. Do you think Matt Freese of NYCFC can hold down a Costa Rican offense right now that actually has a couple of good starters in there? Martinez has been strong. I think I'm going to be curious to see what this team does. Right now we're about 4 minutes in. Nothing has actually happened at this point. There's been a foul on each side of the fence, but yeah, still nothing going on at the moment. Shot goes in. Let's see. It's a header off the top and played out back towards the middle right now. We are 5 minutes in. This game, by the way, is at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minnesota, of course, actually having very fine weather at this time of year because it is June and it is not January. Some of the fans that may remember, there was a couple of incidents that have had in Minnesota where they've had snow-covered games. Thankfully, this will not be one of those. FS1 is Summit Racing Equipment National. No shit. Yeah, Matt Freese should be fine, I think, despite the situation of what happened last week. He's not the type to hold on to a mistake that long. Pull this back here. Yeah, man. Scroll me down. There we go. All right, so there's your numbers right now, just to give you a couple updates. I'm probably going to leave that up there for the most part. Again, no, I cannot actually stream this game because I like to not get sued by, Fox Sports, soccer, and all this kind of stuff. I'm building up a pretty good rapport with them in general. So let's try to avoid that as much as we're able. But yeah, the game should be on FS1. Right now we're setting up for a corner. I'm trying to see who. So yeah, the U.S. has a corner kick for the first time in this game here. We're going to see right now. Corners. We're just under 6 minutes into this match so far. Setting up, hand up, and corner in, and very casually knocked out. And a very easy save here. And Costa Rica boots it across the field. Down to about, right over to the other side, and right over to his opposite, in this case, Mr. Matt Freese. But so far, nothing has actually happened really of yet at this point.
I'm all set. Can you hear anything from my television?
I can hear a little background on that one. Yeah, sorry,
okay.
Man.
No worries.
I got the score. I've got basically the score and the updates right now as they're happening.
Okay.
Nothing really at this point. There was the first corner of the game.
Right.
So I'll talk to you in this case here. I already covered a little bit. Matt Freese versus Alonso Martinez.
Right.
Do you have a choice here?
It's interesting. Like who it makes my mind run to the question: how could the team benefit the most from one or the other succeeding, right? And Matt, for me, even when the team is having a bad game or the team is in a bad run of form, as in New York City FC, Matt never really seems unlike himself. Whereas like as of late, or so far this season, Alonso has felt a little bit off, and I think the team stands to gain a little bit more from him finding form in this game. You know what I mean? Like from him having. I mean, did he start? Is he out there right now?
Alonso started on the wing. Yes.
Okay.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's super anti-patriotic of me to even entertain the idea of rooting for the team playing for rooting for Costa Rica, but
you're allowed to root for who you want to, man.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like Matty, even after a loss, would still be Matty. Whereas like Alonso,
oh yeah, good point.
I feel like this could only compound the difficult run of form that he's been having.
You got a valid point there because of the fact that these two guys, like I said, this is kind of what we're looking at right here, from Ted Lasso. But right now, for the most part, possession has really been pretty much all U.S. at this point, almost a 3-to-1 ratio. One corner at this point for the U.S., one offside for the U.S., one foul each. But still, so far, no shots on goal, which doesn't really surprise me that much. I figured this is a match where they're going to be slow a little bit. They're going to get a feel. They're going to take some time, and then maybe a little bit of offensive push 20, 25 minutes in. But for right now, they're feeling each other out, especially with it being so single elimination like it is.
How do you feel about the lineup, the 11?
I think it's the same basic lineup as we kind of expected it was going to be.
Okay.
I mean,
I am surprised at Luca getting the start because he's
I mean, I can see Diego Luna. Oops, I'm getting it.
No, not Luna. Luca Del Torre.
Yep. Hang on a sec. I just realized I just pulled the screen off. There we go. That is the lineup for the squad right there. Yeah, Luca. I mean, I could see that too.
Berhalter. So the lineup that I saw on Fox actually has De La Torre on the wing where Berhalter is, and Berhalter playing in his typical role in central midfield. And I mean, but it makes sense that there's some confusion there because De La Torre is profiled as a central midfielder. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, you got De La Torre. I see. Yeah, okay. We got Tillman on the wing makes sense. Luna on the wing. Berhalter in the midfield there. Yeah. Arfston in the back. That is interesting. Yeah, because Google has,
penalty?
I see two different ones here. Yeah, you're right.
A penalty?
Yep. Also a shot in the nuts, by the way. I may point that out. A little rough there. I think Arfston got a little bit of
a no way.
So.
Say again?
I was going to say Arfston took a ball to the balls. But yeah, this is huge here. Wow.
I mean, it's hard to argue against it being a penalty.
Also, keep in mind that Freese has not had good history on PKs.
Yeah, This is a good moment. It's not a make or break it moment, but it's a good moment for him to kind of cement himself right now. If he shows some steely nerve and he's able to shut this pen out, then it kind of silences a lot of critics.
Yeah, they're saying basically 3 saves on 16 career PKs for an 18%, just over 18%.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yes, Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber, there's a chance.
Okay.
So. And it's in. And immediately, just like that, Costa Rica is up 1-0. Wow, that did not take long.
Oh, I'm behind you a little bit.
All right,
I'm behind you quite a bit, actually.
I zoomed in. All right, I'm gonna fix that right now.
No, it's okay.
Nope, got to update the score. Got to update the score.
Oh, the score.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like I said, that record right there. Wow. Now it's funny because a lot of NYCFC fans will be like, "Well, we're rooting for the U.S. so Alonso Martinez can go back."
Right though.
I mean, Tomas Romero has done a decent job, but the team needs Alonso back.
Yeah.
Listen, the team, the U.S. team has done well as they needed to. They ran. The team's got to basically pull off this win. They had, like I said, a 3-1 odd that they were going to win this game. I'm not sure why they're not putting McGlynn in just yet. Probably save him for the second half, I'm sure. But right now, the U.S. is still favored to win this game. By the way, not as much. It was 3-1 odds. Now it's probably 1.5 to 1 odds that they are going to win this game. That's the numbers.
I gotta point out, Matty guessed correctly there.
Yeah,
he was off by maybe an inch
on that shot.
He guessed correctly there.
But this is exactly what the U.S. did not need right now. So, if the team continues to play like this and we get into the second half and they're behind, I'm going to propose a couple of thoughts to you and get some ideas on what you feel here. Beating up Trinidad, yeah, but they beat Saudi Arabia 1-0. You got to give credit there. So
that was a respectable result.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, beating up Trinidad and Tobago, you scored 5. That's what you were expected to do. I mean, this isn't like playing like the Inter Miami game earlier today. PSG pulled up 4 in the first half and was just like, we're just gonna coast the rest of this match.
Right.
I mean, is
Trinidad
it possible?
Tobago, by the way, go on.
What did I say?
Tobago. Doesn't matter. Go on. What were you saying?
Tomato and tomato. Sorry.
Tobago.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's going to be one of those things like this asshole. Well, I mean, given what happened earlier today with Guatemala, beating in PK, beating Canada, they may have to send Schaffelberg like a gift card in the mail or something to say thank you. Because damn. I didn't see that. I figured Canada was gonna roll down pretty well, but especially with the way that first half went. But Schaffelberg getting a second yellow card, puts you down for the rest of the match.
I mean, this seems like it's the summer of giant slaying. We saw it in the Club World Cup, and.
Yeah, this is not what they were looking for right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, Vegas odds has the U.S. barely over the top. I would say 51-49% right now. Goals are over under at 3, with a draw being most likely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean. What does getting eliminated here mean as far as how we should be perceiving Poch's time here thus far? Is it too soon for criticism?
I was actually going to hold off on this question until later, depending on how the rest of the first half went, maybe it's a halftime. But since you brought it up, I mean, I'll bring this up. Yeah, I think if you lose here, I think it's an embarrassment. I think, the U.S. team right now is an embarrassment until it's not. And they need to showcase this is what we can bring to the table, and they ran the table, the first round, they got, they maxed out on points. They did what they were supposed to do, say what you want about the match against Trinidad and Tobago. But they did what they were supposed to do. And they outscored their opponents 8-1. Matt Freese had the best, I think, goals against average of any goalkeeper in the entire tournament, with at least 3 shots on goal. So he did what he had to. Obviously, he had the opportunity for a third clean sheet. Didn't happen. We can beat that. We can beat that one to the ground as much as we want. But the team did what it needed to do. But at the same time, it is still a prove it to me team.
And to build on that, I've been having a lot of debates with, Alec, right?
Yes.
Just about how we should be perceiving the results from the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of in the last 2 managerial cycles, including Greg, right? He feels that Greg should deserves more flowers than he gets. I'm not sure what type of flowers Greg gets, but I would, I think he's probably right. A lot of people don't really.
A lot of fans are looking for weeds instead.
Say again?
I think a lot of fans would prefer weeds.
Weeds?
Weeds over flowers.
I'm kind of there with them, and I've questioned myself about it. Like, am I being too harsh on Greg and the guys, and what they've managed to accomplish still, despite the rough form in the last, or at least since the old guard, since the Donovan, Howard, Clint Dempsey era, right? And the conclusion I've come to is that it's a failure to launch, right? I'm not saying that the United States national team should be, considered par with the Spains and Germanys and Frances of the world. And obviously, teams go through cycles, right? We watched Italy miss a couple major tournaments. We watched Spain go through their low point. Every country has its ebbs and flows, right? But the USA felt like, after what Landon and Clinton, those guys managed to accomplish, it pushed the needle when it comes to what we've ever seen the United States national team manage to do, how far they've ever managed to go. It did push the needle. And so Greg achieving what he had with the team, it didn't, impress many people. And I think rightfully so, because he didn't do anything that the team wasn't already capable of.
So you're saying basically he had to walk so this team could run.
This team is currently relearning how to walk.
That's fair. That's a better analogy.
And it shouldn't be. This team right now, with all the players that, and all the major teams in the world that it has, it shouldn't be in this conversation of what's wrong with it. Why can't they figure it out? It shouldn't be in that phase right now. These guys that kind of came in, and the guys I'm talking about, they're in their prime. Weston McKennie, Chris Pulisic, Tim Weah. These are not kids, and they're not old guys either. They're in their prime, and they are on teams that, say 10, 15 years ago, we couldn't imagine an American ever playing for AC Milan, right? I mean, other than Noguchi and Yewu, but that's, you know what I mean? We had a couple, right? But like the furthest, the highest competitions or leagues that an America could ever aspire to is a mid-table Prem team, Eredivisie team. You know what I mean? And now we've got Juventus, we've got AC Milan, and we're talking about major role players on these squads. And so it with the type of progress that we've made in that regard, as far as getting players into those positions, why does it feel like it's been 3 steps backward as far as the national team? Yeah, so I don't know. It feels like a failure to launch. It feels like where this team should be, like narratively, like based on the generations past and what they managed to accomplish, and just what did new benchmarks should have been. It's been underachieving. Even under that, Greg Berhalter is the quote unquote winningest coach. He has the best win record of any U.S. national team coach. That means nothing to me, for real. Because the wins didn't feel any different from anything that we were used to the U.S. doing, even before his tenure. So I don't know. I'm being super critical and I'm in the weeds right now, but I hope you get my overall point.
Yeah. Well, this opens up a question that I've got for you and for anybody else. Can this team compete next year? Because remember, World Cup is on U.S. home turf. I mean, this is a home game, nationality speaking wise, also because it's in Minnesota. But even more than that, I mean, Minnesota is admittedly out in the middle of nowhere. But World Cup is predominantly all U.S. nationwide. All the eyes bigger than ever, way bigger than this, are going to be on this team, and the expectations are going to be a lot higher. You know, can this team honestly use this Gold Cup to launch itself into some degree of respectability next year?
You never say never,
but
the last time that the United States hosted a World Cup, what was that? The 94?
Yes.
And now 2026. Back then, despite being the host nation, it would have been fair to not expect much from the United States as far as that tournament goes, right?
Agreed.
Considering all the years that have passed and, you know, all the major benchmarks that were hit in between then and now for the national team, next year feels like, for me at least, a make or break kind of thing. Not like the United States
that's a great analogy. Yes,
1,000%. But it's not like the United States should be expected to win it, right? That's not what I'm saying. But I want to see a new benchmark set. I want us to get further in the competition that we've ever gotten before. I don't mind losing as long as we outperform every other World Cup performance that we've ever had.
You're talking
I
like
want a higher goal tally. Say again?
The end of Rocky 1, you know.
Say again?
Yeah, the end of Rocky 1, you want them to take the champ to the distance. You know, honestly, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of U.S. soccer fans could live with that. If they go to the final round and they lose in, like, say, a PK, you know, I think the fans could walk away and be like, damn, that was close, but they didn't go out badly. You know, do you want to win it all? Absolutely. But again, it's about that pride part. Now, it's funny because you mentioned 1994. 1994, soccer was not really a thing in the U.S. It existed, but it was nothing, like, you know, compared to what it is now.
Exactly.
And yeah, like you said, the expectation, especially after what happened a couple years in Qatar. You know, you look at this team, and now, like I said, now you're on home turf. You know, pretty much everywhere you play, with the exception of a few places, is all going to be inside the United States.
So that's a good question, Jason. What's the benchmark? The benchmark for me, I mentioned a couple of it just now. It's getting past the furthest round we've ever gotten to. As far as I know, we've only gone as far as the quarters. Am I bugging?
I think so. Yeah.
We've only gone as far as the quarters. I'm sure there's some miracle iteration of the World Cup that we managed to make it to the semifinals or something like that. From like the 1930s. But like to my knowledge, as long as I've been alive, the furthest that the United States ever gotten to, I think, was the quarters. And what was it?
There's your stats.
02 quarterfinals. There we go. Right?
Yeah.
And another benchmark I'd like to see is I want to see us outplay teams that we objectively should be better than. Because in the last World Cup under Greg, there were teams that in my opinion, we were objectively better than, and we shouldn't have been struggling against. And the games felt too 50-50, sometimes even more in the opposite team's favor. And it shouldn't feel that way. Again, I'm not saying that the United States is a punch with the heavyweights type of international team. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is there are just certain teams that we shouldn't have an issue with. If you look at the type of wins that we've managed against certain teams in the past, I remember I think of that Bosnia game in 2010. I think of 2010 largely for when it comes to the peak of the national team. A lot of games in that tournament you will never see better played games by any national team than that, in my opinion, than that tournament. Even though 0-2 we went to the quarterfinals. But there was something about the quality of play. It felt very much, there was more heart in it. There was more, more unity. The guys were really running and working for each other. And the type of results just felt very fairy tale. Like I said, that the Bosnia result,
Costa Rica is starting to swarm a little bit now too.
Yeah, they are. The Algeria result with Landon's, last minute goal, and I would like to see us get a couple more results like, oh goodness, Timmy. I'm a couple seconds behind, if anyone. So if I seem a little bit late on my reactions, I apologize.
No, dude, you're fine. I just realized I put the wrong comment on there. So, yeah, right now, basically the shots are 3-2 in favor of the U.S., but Costa Rica is currently up 1-0 at the moment because of the Calvo penalty kick on 12 minutes in. Well, see, what's interesting about this also, and this is where I'm curious from a different perspective, two perspectives specifically. So earlier this week, FIFA's head honcho said that basically soccer will be the #1 sport in the U.S. in the next 3 to 5 years. Infantino basically said that this is going to be the biggest sport in the U.S. by, we'll give it out a little bit, the year 2030. Now, I want to point out, as a reminder, we have the NFL in the U.S. But yes, it has the potential to soon be the #1 sport here in America. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree, or do you really disagree?
One of the blessings of being a Black American guy is you've played almost every single sport under the sun, and you've watched every single sport under the sun, and you're just aware of it. And I remember there was a time when I loved American football, the NFL. I was obsessed with it. And when I stopped watching, it was around the time when the whole concussion stuff started coming out.
Sure.
So I just feel like, exactly. So I just feel like it just has that stain on it. And especially considering, like, we don't want to get too far into it, but like, they're a little bit, the NFL is kind of problematic at times socially. So, it's going to remain popular in certain circles the way NASCAR is. But I think it's going to get to a point where, like, fans of athletics it'll be, NBA basketball will always be #1, I think, in this country. Always. And that's actually if we keep letting Europeans come in. If we keep letting the Europeans come in,
the NFL, interesting.
Huh? Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah. NBA, I could see it being, maybe. I don't know, man. I could see I could see it giving the NFL a run for its money. I know the NFL is old money. I know it's old money, but the soccer is the world sport, and oh goodness.
Yeah, now shots are 3-3 each, but again, Costa Rica still with the 1-0 lead, 31 plus minutes in at this point.
Soccer's, it really does depend on how next year goes too.
Yeah.
If America gets embarrassed out of the tournament, it'll set back the progress of the sport in this country.
That's where I wanted to bring this up, not even so much as FIFA, but really Don Garber, because this is a textbook opportunity for Major League Soccer, and even like USL, NWSL, to really, really put a stamp on things. I mean, I'm going to go a step further and say the biggest pressure I think right now is probably on MLS for the U.S. men's soccer team to be the best, to do what it does. See, interesting. You guys, you say NBA is #1 too. I don't know. To me, my mind is still basically it's got to be NFL. But yeah, it's not going to be the number one in the U.S. I don't think. Could it overtake hockey? Yes, I do believe so. Could it overtake baseball? Maybe, possibly. Could it be the number 4 sport? Yes, I think it's very, very doable that I can overtake hockey. Because I saw the numbers in the Stanley Cup, and they were not spectacular. But I see the numbers trending up, especially on the NWSL side of things, and the way things are going for the championships there. Could that be done by 2030? Hell yeah.
I think it can overtake hockey pretty easily.
Which sucks, 'cause I really like hockey. But yeah, no, I think when it comes to a sport like this, soccer has so much riding on the World Cup here next year. That I think if the U.S. bombs out, this is going to set soccer back in the U.S. probably by at least 3 years.
Probably more, man. Probably more.
That's at least 3
years.
Because
this is a very fickle. It's like the U.S. when it comes to sports, it's like a warrior tribe. It's super
By the way, we're in
harsh.
VAR at the moment. I want to point that out too.
What's this VAR for?
Possibly forcing the back of the leg of Tillman.
Oh,
it's a penalty and a red card inside the box. Well, actually, no. They're going to run with. I'm not sure what. Let's see.
Oh, did he get the back of his heel there?
Yeah,
the back of his ankle. Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. He absolutely did.
So this is going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, he did. Right there. Boom. Yeah, he did. 100%.
Yeah.
That's a pen.
Here we go. Coming out. Yeah, don't mind the silence right now. Basically, they're checking a VAR. It's going to be real interesting to see what ends up happening right here.
I agree with Jason Hepp, by the way.
Oh, about relegation? I'm not as big on it. Here's the thing. After Ted Ramey from San Jose and Joe Tolleson said that basically they weren't fans of it. Or no, I'm sorry. No, it was not. No, it wasn't Ted Ramey. It was Chris Duran from Columbus. They weren't crazy about it. That changed my opinion a little bit because they're better at this shit than I am. So, but oof, yeah, that could have really ended. Oh boy, this is an opportunity here. Yeah, it's officially.
What's up with this dude's neck or lack thereof?
It's a yellow card on Juan Vargas. So the U.S. has got an opportunity here to maybe pull up an equalizer on this. America. America.
Oh, God, please, no.
Like I said, the team is in Minnesota, so it is on home turf here.
I want Tyler to wear the armband for the national team. Either him or Maddie. Yo, I keep forgetting Keylor Navas is on this team. That is that's a killer right there, man.
This is a great opportunity here for the equalizer. But by the same token, if Malik Tillman does not score here, what kind of energy does this give Costa Rica at this point?
Oh, it charges them up. It charges them up, man.
Tillman is the leading goal scorer. He's got 3 goals right here. Apparently, he's never taken a PK at this high level before. So, all right.
I'm gonna base my reaction off of your reaction because you're gonna see it before me.
Okay. So you're saying I should do absolutely nothing? Yeah. Lined up, waiting. 5, 4, guessing 3, 2, 1, and it is off the pipe. It is off the pipe. He rang it wide, I think. Oh shit, he rang it wide left. Oh, dude. I got to see that again. Actually, no, unfortunately with my system, I can't back this up either. They won't let me. Oh, dear God.
Now I'm starting to believe you. I thought you were messing with me, but now I'm starting to believe you.
Dude, it went wide friggin' left.
Oh, come on!
How do you do? Oh, dear God. Oh, and basically we got a little bit of a scrum going on now. Matt Freese has come down all the way to the other side of the pitch to get involved in the scrum going on between the two teams. Matt Freese, please get into a fight with Alonso Martinez. That would be hilarious. Yeah, okay, they're showing the replay on this, by the way. Yeah. Tillman. Yep, he rang it right off. He had it beat. Goalkeeper went the other way, but he shot it too far. Oh, dude. And the reaction of the dude all dressed up with Statue of Liberty, man. Oh, dear God. Wow.
Yo, Tyler loves a scrap, yo. Tyler loves a scrap.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny, actually, if this team – hang on, I should learn how to spell better. If this team loses, that PK is going to be the biggest selling point on all of this. That is what people are going to remember way more than anything else here.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he had him beat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what.
And Navas went the other way, yeah.
Huh?
No, Navas went the other way. So,
dude, I'm more angry at that penalty miss than I am at Freeze's miscue the other day.
Now, to their credit, the U.S. does have 6 shots on goal right now. So they are still making things happen, at least on that part of things.
It makes you wonder if the ball lies from time to time. Does the ball lie?
Dude, it's a game of inches, yeah, but oh, man. So, U.S., by the way, with a corner, I believe, in this case here.
Does the ball lie, Scott?
Yes, it does. And corner is up. And nice. Can Costa Rica clear this right now? Yep, cleared it out of the box barely, but shot tap back in. It will look like it's going to be nope, stayed in. Nope, still goal kick. So now on the 40th minute, Berhalter had the opportunity to keep the ball in play, but we kind of miffed it a little bit. So we have a goal kick, I believe, coming in right here. Maybe not. Maybe not. We got another corner? Maybe. I may have been wrong on that one. I thought ball. Yep, another corner. I thought Berhalter put a foot on it. My bad. So another corner for the U.S. They've had a lot today, but at this point, still not able to convert in the 40th minute. It's up. And scrum in the middle, but I think, nope, shot up and over the top. Who was that? Argumon, I think? Nope. Who was that? Oh, yeah, it was Argumon basically shoots it up over the top. That is definitely a goal kick there. Yeah.
I would have had Berhalter take the penalty or Luna.
Yeah, well, now in retrospect, I mean, here's the thing: if Tillman gets it, fine, problem solved. But by the way, I think that comment
he's not the guy I would have trusted with that, or even Adjabang, But Tillman is not the guy I would have, pegged for that.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pop out for a quick sec. Apparently, my battery's not plugged in on the laptop. So.
Okay.
So, pardon me.
I got to carry this? Okay.
Yeah, I can do this like this way, though.
So I'm going to give you guys a very delayed reaction. I'm like a minute behind everything. I'm at 40 minutes and 21 seconds.
So, let's see if that fixes it. Did I get it right? All right, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. Basically, just sort of weird. I guess it got unplugged somehow, but we're charging again. When you're doing the live stream and all of a sudden the battery's like, you have no battery left.
Right.
So, yep, plugged in. Okay, cool. Anyway, back to it. 41 minutes and change in at this point. U.S. is trying to work way back down the pitch at this point. Shots are 5 shots to 3, 1 shot on goal each, 4 fouls each, but the difference maker being the Calvo goal 12 minutes in, and an opportunity coming up the right side inside the box. Shot up and wide to the other side, and Matt Freese will take it out for a goal kick. Here's my question to you, sir. In this case, if the U.S. is down at halftime 1-0, what do you say to the team?
You say to them, just you remind them, you impress upon them the importance of a good performance in this cup, and the fact that people are looking to see a good performance. Like a good performance here is gonna decide whether or not people have hope for.
Oh, there it is. Luna with the goal, but
yes
is that
no?
it's not good. I don't think it's going to be an own goal though, right?
Sí or no? Sí or no? Diego Luna.
Yep. No, never mind. When I basically said, what do you do if the team is actually not is still trailing at halftime? Diego Luna with the equals. Boy, do they need that.
Take that. Love to see that. We'll take that
big time.
Yeah. But come on. Now it's this isn't 1-1. This is 0-0. Do not get comfortable. Don't think of it as, oh, we're on our way. We've got to figure it out now. Like, no, like they're just as in it as you are. They're just as desperate as you are.
Mm-hmm. So gives the team a little bit of new life here too at the same time.
It does. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get this press going. Hell yeah.
44 minutes in. Throw in for the U.S. Probably about 20 feet out.
Maddie. Maddie.
It's funny because Matt Freese is now the guy. I was talking to Esteban about this the other day. Esteban, the PR guy from NYCFC. And we were talking about the fact that Matt Freese is now the guy and took the job from Matt Turner, which I was very surprised happened,
I'm not.
But, well, you know what it is? New coach, new plan. If Berhalter was still head coach, would it still be Matt Turner?
Can we just talk real for once? Like, we always have to play this humble road when it comes to talking about performing well in the MLS versus performing or simply playing on a European team. I get it. There's a difference between Barcelona's B side and NYCFC's A team. I get that. There's a huge gap between those two things. But
5 minutes
the game
is
the game. Huh?
5 minutes of added time.
Nice. The game is the game.
Mm-hmm.
The professional game is a professional game, regardless of what level you're playing at. And if you're playing well, it can translate to other environments. So playing well in the MLS, it might actually translate well to playing well on the international stage against almost anybody, right? And Maddie, if we're being honest, was playing more consistently and having more consistent, good performances than Matt Turner was. Matt Turner was riding pine at, I believe, Nottingham Forest, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's riding pine. That's not good. It's not good for a presumed starter on a national team. No, not at all.
Yeah, no. The entire time was basically he was benched.
Yeah, and
which might have also softened his game some too, possibly.
Of course, it's softened his game. You could tell when in starts that he's had for the national team, he's not himself. And whether that's bad form or it's permanent, that old adage. Once is luck, twice is a habit, 3 times is the truth.
Yes.
Right. And really all it's saying is like, everyone's prone to one flash of good or flash of bad. But if you can be consistently if you can produce those flashes consistently, then that's what you are.
Yes.
Form is temporary, class is permanent. And we don't know if the slump that Matt Turner is in right now, if that's permanent yet. We don't know that. The same way that we don't know the form that Matt Freese is in right now, is permanent either. But all we know right now is that Matt Freese is playing more consistently and is playing well consistently, performing at a high level.
Yeah.
That to me, it doesn't matter what the league is. That to me, it should earn you some deference when it comes to whether who starts and who sits. But as of right now, Matt Turner's the I can't think of a better second string. I can't think of another guy. So
he's probably even a mentor on the pressures of this too.
Say again?
He's probably even a mentor on the pressure of this too.
Right.
And not just here, but World Cup especially. Because if Matt Freese ends up being the goalkeeper next year, for World Cup, which is I think very plausible. It's a bigger stage than he's ever had, because it's, as odd as it sounds, New York City, as large as it is a very mid-tier soccer team. Yeah.
Despite being mid-tier, he's been one of the better keepers of the last 2 to 3 seasons in MLS.
And the fact that he wasn't up for goalkeeper of the year last year, I think it got the league's attention with their response. Because he was, a lot of people were like, why didn't this guy at least get a nod in the top 3? And I think that is, weirdly enough, why he is here now. Because people are like, oh, yeah, there's enough of this. Maybe we overlooked something. But, by the way, we're closing in on 4 minutes of the 5 at the added time right now. Currently tied 1-1. Both, basically, first goal came from Costa Rica, 12 minutes on a PK. And then Diego Luna with a little bit of a lucky redirect. But you know what? Lucky is better than good sometimes. So we have a 1-1 tie right now, closing in on halftime. I'll go break down a little bit of the scores and everything that's going on with what happened earlier today. Like I said, Canada and Guatemala. The winner of this game will be playing Guatemala on July 2nd at 6:30 p.m. That is the confirmed start time. So the Guatemalans, I'm sure, are watching this game very closely to see who their opponent is going to be on Wednesday. 3 days rest, by the way, not a lot to work with.
Max Arfston,
yes,
he plays for Columbus, and they start him on the right side, don't they?
Yes. Arfston today, where is he?
Left back.
He's left back. Okay.
I'm very surprised Pochettino didn't give Tolkien the start, because Tolkien had the assist and had an amazing game. And is one of his few true left-footed fullbacks on the squad right now. So it's kind of puzzling to me that why he didn't get the start.
I'm sure they're probably going to get time second half.
Same thing with Jack McGlynn. Jack McGlynn's had
that was the other one I was trying to think of. Yeah, somebody asked why isn't McGlynn starting. I'm sure they're probably pulling him in second half.
You wouldn't have started them?
Listen, I'll say this. Probably in this case, you can go either way, but I don't have a problem with this particular lineup for what it's worth. So we are officially at halftime.
Okay.
Thank you to viewer number 400 that just popped in. So, but right now it is U.S. at 1 and Costa Rica at 1. Shots are very heavily in favor of the U.S. 9 shots to 4, 2 shots on goal, 2-1, 4 corners to none. That's a big one right there. One yellow card for the U.S., 2 for Costa Rica at this point. The odds are back very, very, very heavily in favor of the U.S. to win this. $617 would get you $115 as a win. Draws back, by the way, 160. Total goals over under is going to be 3.25 at this point. So with that one goal by Diego Luna, the odds went right back in the favor of the United States. Your thoughts, if you have any?
I mean, this is one of those. I mentioned this earlier. This, for me, feels like a team that we should be playing well against. That's no insult to Costa Rica, but it just feels like a team that we shouldn't. I mean, the odds say it, right? But the game, what we've watched so far, has not necessarily looked that way. It's looked like Costa Rica sort of has the edge a little bit as far as the momentum. Because granted that we tied the game, the manner in which it was tied, like coming off of we gave up the penalty, they score the penalty, we get our own penalty, we couldn't score that penalty. That plays a role in the overall momentum. Yes, Diego Luna gets the goal, but it was a deflection. We got lucky there. So it still doesn't. So, say again?
Better lucky than good sometimes, sir. A goal is still a goal, regardless.
A goal is still a goal, but as far as the belief component of this match, I would have rathered something a little bit more deliberate. But 1-1. Right?
I do agree with you on that. Because in this case here, you breathe a sigh of relief, but at the same time, that easily could have been a miss. Yeah. But
or saved by Killenavas, who was reading the shot. He was he had his hand outstretched. It was there.
Now, like you said, now it's a 45-minute match. It's not a 90-minute match. It's a 45-minute match. Yeah. And if it goes to PK, that right there is why I love PK. I really do. Because just the unbridled drama of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just my take. I know I'm in the minority on that, but
No, you're not. Are you kidding?
Believe it or not, I think I really am. Maybe you too. But a lot of people really, really hate the PK.
That's insane to me because, sometimes a PK is a decider between. I mean, you look at the Guatemala-Canada game, right?
Yeah,
that's a decider between a team that should have handily won it and a team that has no business being there. And if you can just get it to the pens, at that point it's 50-50. At that point, it's actually 50-50. So,
here's the other side of it too. Who has the odds in a PK? Navas or Matt Freese? You got to look at that one too. And also what you saw with Malik Tillman here. Do you bury him down? You bring him down 3 or 4 in. There's a lot to digest here if this thing goes that way.
Yeah. That's why I would have preferred for game changers like Tolkien and Jack McGlynn, they are very much like they do their job, they play their role, but they're super unpredictable, creative. They just have an audacity about them. John Tolkien, there's something about John Tolkien that feels like, I don't know if you're gonna agree with this, like this comparison I'm making, but like a Walker Zimmerman / Matt Miazga, like how they don't see, it's like a Chihuahua's mindset. They don't seem to understand that they're playing a better team or they're going up against a better player. They're just like, no, I'm here to compete. Let's do that. And that's the kind of mindset that's sort of missing from the squad right now, because while they might be talented, they're also almost too humble, too respectful. They don't have that same American arrogance. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't Landon Donovan's or Clint Dempsey's or Tim Howard's talent, even though they were extremely talented. They, even by today's standards, they're extremely talented players. It was their arrogance, their audacity to dare to win. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, these highbrow tactics or just these guys are very vanilla players, but maybe not Clint. Clint is he's a try shit kind of guy. But I don't know. I wanted to see more of those personalities pushed to the fore, the John Tolkiens, the Jack McGlynn's, the try shit guys.
I think they're going to get their stuff. I think they're going to get that second half, possibly at halftime. Yeah. I mean, this could be one of those matches that goes down to 88 minutes before a goal gets scored.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the second half, much like the first half, is going to start out slow. They're just going to get a sense of what's going to happen. They're going to try not to take too many chances. And then from there, they'll take it. But Anyway.
Yeah.
So
how did you? Okay, I want to talk about that game yesterday.
Oh, NYCFC's game?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we can talk about that. May as well basically bring this up while we're doing that, because basically one of the people that's going to be talking about it with us on Tuesday also will be excited to talk about Mr. Joseph Tollison, MLS play-by-play guy, also NYCFC play-by-play guy for the S Network, will be joining us Tuesday at 11. It's going to be pre-recorded Zoom, taking questions on NYCFC, life, the universe, and everything, including this match as well, World Cup expectation. So Joe Tollison will be joining us to talk everything. If you have questions, let us know. We can certainly bring them up as long as they're clean, and safe for work. We can do it that way. But yeah, longtime MLS play-by-play guy, Apple TV guy, and honestly, just real cool guy. I was texting with him earlier today. So, but yeah, for the match last night, this is why NYCFC was really rooting for Costa Rica to lose. Munsef, not bad. Seymour Reed, surprising towards the end, but I kind of get it.
Yeah.
They would have needed Alonso Martinez there. Tomas Romero, I think, is clearly going to be the goalkeeper of the future for this squad. Matt Freese moves up. Romero's taking over. I tweeted the other day, he does not have the Zen mentality that Matt Freese does, but he's got a good vibe about him. He's got a good energy, and he's younger. He's only 23.
Yeah. There's something to be said about the relationship that happens between goalkeepers on a team. They're a little bit more tight knit than the outfield players on any given team. So I'm not surprised that there's sort of there's similarities between Matt's disposition and Tomas's disposition.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Pascal Janssen was there, he missed the game because of a family issue, but apparently has returned to the States today. If he was there and or Alonso Martinez was there, I think NYCFC does pull out not just a draw, but I think they pull out a win. But because of those two things, Montreal gets their third win of the season, and ironically, two of them have been against NYCFC.
0-1 in an away game.
Yeah.
And especially without, I understand that Montreal had a number of starters out as well, but New York City FC had like some serious core players out. Keaton wasn't in there. I know Aiden was on the bench, but he didn't play a single minute. I know Romero was very good, but he's still the second string goalkeeper. Alonso wasn't there, and Maxi, that's a hard conversation to have that we need to start having.
Yeah, we need to start looking at what's going to be, his future and everything like that.
This is the last good year we're going to get from him.
Yeah,
anything beyond this, it'll be elder abuse.
God, I would hate that line, man. Oh
yeah, I know. But it's an extreme way to phrase it, but it also is like I do feel. I mean, I love him as a player too. I think he represents the type of talent that we've managed to feature here in this league. You know what I mean? He's up there with the Diego Valeris and the the Obafemi Martins and all those guys. And
yeah, well, I had to throw the fisting.
Look, see that the fist. I want that as the statue outside of the new stadium. That right there, I want that as a new statue outside of the stadium.
I saw it on screen yesterday. I'm like, I got to record this. I threw it into a GIF because I had to, But it's just the hand coming up.
But I don't want to. It feels like we're depending on somebody. We should, it's a little unfair to ask him to do all of it, to be our creative force, to somehow reach back into his 20s or early 30s and and give us that maxi. Like, I don't know. I think it's a little unfair. And I don't know if there's anybody who needs to stand to be indicted for how this team is performing. It's no one that we watched take the pitch yesterday. It's you know, we David Lee. It's the front office. They have to take a look at it.
Question has already been posed to me, by the way, regarding Tollison on Tuesday. I just want to point that out. That question has been thrown in my direction. So.
Yeah, but we had none of our starters in, and it turned out the way you would have expected it to turn out. Especially after approximately 3 weeks off as well.
Yep. Well, this entire schedule. Well, see, that was the other side of it too. NYCFC had 16 days off between matches. Montreal had 3. So you expect Montreal to start out of the gate a little bit faster, but run out of gas towards the end. So each was its own advantage.
Yeah.
So second half should be getting underway fairly soon. Possession right now has very heavily been by the U.S., 74% to 26.
What about the? Could you bring up the data, the statistics, please?
Yeah, I could probably do. Wrong button. Sorry about that. Here it is.
Did you accidentally bring up your incognito searches?
No.
74%.
Actually, believe it or not, I'm running StreamYard through incognito mode. It's funny.
Shots on goal, corners, offsides, yellow cards. Okay.
So, but right now, the odds are pretty heavily.
I was answering his question. For me, it's a personnel thing. You need some more danger guys. I would take off Luka. I would take off Arfston. I would put Tolkien on, and I would put McGlynn on.
All fresh legs, basically. All fresh legs.
Yeah. And I'm kind of unconvinced with Adjumang, and I know I'm probably alone. in that, but I'm not convinced fully with Adjumang yet.
Ready to go for the second half here in Minneapolis between the United States and Costa Rica.
I can hear the game, by the way.
Goes to St. Louis Wednesday night at a semifinal against
the audio's coming through.
There we go. Yep, we are underway for the start of the second half. So as soon as I said that thing about second half getting underway, I will hide that. And now just say second half.
Straight to penalties we would go if we're tied.
So right now we're down to a 45-minute game. For either side. NYCFC would be basically a good chance to be able to showcase their talents right now. They've made this a brand new game at this point.
So that's an early whistle there. Walter Lopez saying that Patrick Adjumang
just underway in the second half. Nothing exciting yet at this point.
What are you looking for here, second half for the U.S.?
So that the U.S.
also looks pretty bright.
Back into that rhythm and intensity that they
we can hear the audio.
And keep the pressure on Costa Rica. Keep creating goal-scoring opportunities. Don't allow them to get out.
Not on my side.
Yeah, I was hearing it.
I can hear it somewhere, yeah. Yeah, I think it's you actually. Hit. Just to be safe. Maybe it was that. Okay. Maybe it was, man. I'm not sure. Nope, I can still hear it. Weird. So, just underway in the second half right now. U.S. heading down, possibly trying to break into the box. And a quick stop by Costa Rica. Nope, and a turnover, possibly an opportunity right here. And there is a second goal. It looks like it. As long as basically it's onside. I believe we have a second goal here for the U.S.
I like Diego Luna dropping in like this.
Mm-hmm.
I am also a minute behind you, by the way.
Okay. Sorry if I spoiled it.
No worries.
I believe was that.
Oh, who scored that? That was Arston?
Was that Arston or was that Tillman?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good opportunity after that quick turnover there. Shot to the right, right across the box. Perfect. Completely unseen and straight through in the right corner. And this is exactly what the U.S. team needed. Right, great pass, by the way, from Tillman. I want to point that out. Very soft,
Amazing
very straightforward, and a nice little one-timer across. So the U.S. immediately takes the 2-1 lead that they have to take here.
Oh. Whoever number 14 is, he's clogging the spaces. I know I'm being super critical, but
yeah, that's Delator.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that guy's got to go. That guy's got to go.
But I was saying, big goal right there to start the second half and set a momentum.
Yeah, Luka would come out for McGlynn for me.
Yeah, the U.S. I don't think the U.S. didn't make any changes, did they?
No, they did not.
Hmm. Yeah, the odds are now 8-1 for the U.S. to win this game. Free kick setup also just a few feet outside of the box. So another scoring possible opportunity for the U.S. squad here in the second half. Yeah, very big goal right now. That is exactly what you needed right out of that gate.
Yeah. Berhalter taking his free kick. Maybe Luna's on it as well. No, there's no one on the squad that has the quality to kick this in directly, so this should be a cross.
Chip in, and wow, oh my God, that was close. And a second opportunity right over the top. Wow, that was extremely close. The header opportunity from Tillman. Tillman is down. I think he might have landed funny too. He's a little slow to get up. Yeah, pass across, header by Tillman. Great one-handed save by Navas. And then.
Oh, wow. What a save.
Yeah, and then Tillman
by Navas
and just landed funny. He seems to be fine, though. Yeah, there was no penalty, so there was no draw.
Do you know what the cuts in the back of the socks are about?
I do not, actually.
Like, what's that about? I mean, my assumption is like, if you've worn soccer socks, right? They're pretty tight.
It might be a little bit of breathing room, sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who could let us know in the comments, like what the cuts in the back of the socks are for? It makes me think of like people with ripped jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no real functional.
Trying to go 80s.
Yeah, right.
Hang on a second. I'll probably get an answer on this. Let's see. Use intentional become pretty common.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a tight. It's a discomfort thing around the calves. So it's a better fit with calf sleeves or grip socks. Ventilation and flexibility. Technically, they're apparently not allowed, but they're not really just. They're not really policed. But yeah, it's more of a ventilation thing.
Oh, he got stepped on. Yeah, that hurts. Yep. That hurts a lot.
Oh, yes, it does.
Especially it's a big boy. It's a big boy like Ajimang, 6'4".
There's pressure on the calf. Yeah, exactly.
190. Woof.
Yeah, apparently, technically, by rules, are not supposed to be used that way. but it's not overly policed. So they're like, and both sides are doing it equally. It's no real advantage either way. So currently, right now, we're approaching the 52nd minute. It is currently US 2, Costa Rica 1. Costa Rica took a 1-0 lead 12 minutes in on a Calvo penalty kick, but the U.S. has scored 2 since. First by Diego Luna, and then another one. Was it Arxton, I think we said? So. Yeah, U.S. with a 54% chance of winning right now. Costa Rica with a 10% chance of winning per Fox Sports and all that betting in Vegas stuff they got going on. Shots are now 11-4 for the U.S. By the way, 4-1 on goal. So the pressure is being put on.
Okay, that's out.
And I think if they win this game, they can beat a Guatemalan team. I believe that is a winnable match there, as long as they play smart.
Right.
Too cocky. Don't think ahead. Focus on what you have on Wednesday. It's not a lot of turnaround time, but it's not a lot of turnaround time for either team. So you're really gonna have to focus on your substitutes a lot. Missed pass opportunity. That could have been a setup right there for the U.S. But they still maintain possession inside Costa Rica's zone. Trying to break into the box, unable to do so.
Oh.
Oop. Trip, no call. That's actually wasn't really going to be a call anyway. Pass out and does stay inside. Does not. I think was that. Oops. I think a Costa Rican player took the ball off the face. He landed like he did not. That was not a header there either. But play is still continuing. No stoppage. A lot of opportunities for a stop here. The U.S. is basically trying to break into the 18. Just outside and great opportunity for a pass. Passed up and over the net. And I believe out for a goal kick. So 55 minutes in, we have a goal kick going on. Shots are now 12-4. Looks like Berhalter is taking a corner out at this point. 55 minutes in. Pass up and
wow.
Absolutely nothing on that. And Costa Rica immediately plants it back to the midfield. So an opportunity for yet another corner there. The U.S. has had a lot of corners today, by the way. They're currently at 6 corners on this match right now. And Costa Rica is still looking for the first one.
Look at what Jason said.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that one. Got the colors.
The Costa Rican players rub. Do you know Vapor Rub?
Yes. was raised on that stuff when I was a kid.
That's actually really smart though, because like when you're running, when you're like
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of cardio, for some reason, at least for me, you get super like mucusy.
Yep.
You know.
I hated how that stuff felt, but I always liked how I breathed afterwards. But
the vapor rub,
yeah. Mom put that on me as a kid constantly because I couldn't breathe really ever.
Yeah.
So, hated that stuff.
Yeah, I was a sickly kid, so vapor rub was a part of my monthly.
Did you have a mom that would sit by your bedside and listen to make sure you breathed?
Yeah. Mm. Well, for me, it was my grandma.
They don't tell you that when you're 7.
It was my
grandma. They're not going to tell you why they're doing that. It's like, well, I want to make sure you don't die in the middle of the night.
I don't think I'll be any different once when I have my first kid.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, some subs. B. Aguilera, the very well-known younger brother of Christina Aguilera.
Is he really?
No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, it's funny. Elizabeth Shue's brother Andrew played for, I think, the LA Galaxy for 2 years.
Oh wow!
Back in like 05, 06, I think it was. But
did you know? Oh, I'm sure you knew this. Who's the guy? The presidential candidate, and his son. Not his son. His nephew played for the LA Galaxy. He was a center back.
Really?
Yeah. What's his name? He's the guy who's like the cliche. He comes off like a cliche, like movie politician. He ran against Obama, I think, it might have been in the
RFK.
Second. Huh?
RFK?
No. Who was it, man? He was the Republican candidate. And he was actually a nice guy. Not very bright, but nice guy.
You know how little I follow politics at this point in my life.
Oh yeah,
everybody hates me for that. It's like, why can't you follow politics? Because it pisses everybody off, and I don't want to be that guy. Costa Rica trying to get back inside on this one right now. U.S. is playing with a fire though. Whoa, Berhalter with getting tripped a second time. Refusing to let go of the soccer ball here. A little bit of a shoving match, a little bit of push between him and Gallo from Costa Rica.
It was Mitt Romney.
Oh, I remember Mitt. Yeah, he ran it in 2000.
And his nephew, played for the LA Galaxy.
Okay, interesting.
He was a left back, left center back.
Yeah, Mitt Romney, I think was a Mormon, I believe. Oh, Berhalter's in attendance right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what makes sense? Watch his son play and probably analyze the team as well. And Chicago Fire won last night, I believe, too. So he probably
Dave Romney.
Okay.
I've always liked that. That. McCain was in 2008. I was thinking of Mitt Romney in 2012.
Me too. Okay, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, McCain I know had like the longest. I think like second longest POW time in Vietnam. McCain did.
Jeez.
Like top 2 or top 3.
Greg's genes are strong, man. Yo, his kids are clones of him. My goodness.
Matt Freese boots it into the upper tier.
He was aiming for Greg.
Matt Tier showing Thiago Martins how to do it when he's in Atlanta.
Yeah, right.
Still at this point.
The entry passes in this game they've been so good, man. Both teams have been breaking lines really, really well. Just skipping the midfield altogether. And not even over the top. I'm talking about like on the ground, Yeah. But it's nice to see a little bit more of that from the United States because I
believe Nick Cushing would call it a hunga.
Oh my goodness. The hunga.
A hunga. H-O-O-N.
The effort.
Effort.
The desire.
Ronnie Dyler would be like, they're a good team. They play hard.
They work hard in training. I'm trying my hardest to imitate his Mancunian accent I don't know if it's Mancunian or Newcastle. It's one of the two.
I forget which one it was. Yeah,
they kind of sound the same. It's just all I know is it's the same accent as Scary Spice from the Spice Girls.
Scary Spice. You gave me a thumbs down on America's Got Talent 10 years ago. I'll never forgive you.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, she gave me a thumbs down on America's Got Talent. Back
Scary Spice.
Yeah. True story.
Wait. I want to know. First off, you got to get that footage.
Oh, I have the footage, sir. I have that footage.
The fact that you neglected to tell me this. This feels deliberate. It feels like a choice.
No, actually, you know what it is? Listen, you and I have spent so much time in the film industry. We have our own stories anyway. That there's probably shit on your side. It's like, oh, shit, I know that.
I want to see that. I want to do a play-by-play.
Oh, God damn it.
Play-by-play of that footage.
Now
all right, we can do that if you want. We'll do a play-by-play of my time on America's Got Talent back in 2015, season 10. Yes, you look me up, you'll find. You look me up, you will find it. I will say for the record.
It's Scott.
I will say for the record that NBC did not make me look good for that.
Oh my God, Scott! Oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
I never realized the backlash that I would get, or how angry people from Canada could be.
The backlash? There was backlash,
dude. There was serious backlash. I got ripped apart by like fans in Edmonton, of all places in Canada. They were tearing me apart.
Oh my gosh,
Scary Spice was, well, for me, actually, Ginger Spice was my choice. Jerry Hollowell was my favorite of the five. It
was definitely Ginger, Baby. Oh no,
there was almost a sixth Spice. I think Sexy Spice or something too.
No,
but yeah, there was Victoria Beckham was one.
It was Ginger, Baby, Scary, Sporty, and Posh.
Posh Spice. Okay, which one was Beckham?
Posh. Okay. You know what's funny? Posh is if women.
By the way, there's a soccer game still going on here too. The U.S. is inside the box with an opportunity. Up and over to be a goal kick. So anyway, sorry, 65 minutes in, still 2-1.
If women fell into those categories, right? If the Spice Girls were categorizations of women, all my exes were Posh Spice. Every single one of them.
I think most of my exes would be Scary. I think my wife too. I guess I don't know. Would she be Posh? She definitely. She's a redhead, so she would get Ginger on there. But I don't know. I have to think about that.
That's funny. We're talking vibe, not hair color. Vibe.
Talking practice, not a game. Not a game.
Talking about practice. Yo, Diego Luna gets in and out of those.
Dude, absolutely.
Those
I'm liking I'm really impressed with the pressure of the U.S., but even like Costa Rica is not on their, is not holding back either. U.S. is really trying to get that third goal now. They know this is a problem that a lot of teams have, where you play the lead even though you got a half an hour left.
Oh, good try. Tim Ream in behind for Ajimai. Oh, wow. There's no way that's a foul. Thank you. The Costa Ricans have a bit of a dramatic. They're one of those teams, you can find them anywhere in the world. Those teams that make the most out of physical contact. We see it. We see it all over the world. I could name Italy. Italy loves to make a meal of contact, and Brazil, obviously.
Throwing a little plug there because I got to.
Yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe so you can see the play-by-play we do of his time on America's Got Talent.
Oh, no, that would probably be in Stream Punk Cinema, if anything there.
Okay.
Where I also talk about, Stream Punk Entertainment, the umbrella that humiliates its owner.
Man, there's power in oh man, there's power in you being the one to make fun of you.
Oh yeah, dude. Listen, I own the shit out of that, man.
It's B Rabbit. It's B Rabbit and 8 Mile.
Dude, yeah.
You know?
Except that I'm nowhere near the rapping ability against Falcon.
My goodness, what a play.
Yeah.
What a play. The layoff by Ajamang. I might have to eat my words about Ajamang. Like what he lacks as far as what I feel like is goal danger, he makes up for in something that I think has been really lacking in the United States striker core, which is the ability to be a facilitator from up top. You know, the only other person in the pool I think that can do that efficiently is Jordan Morris, but nobody wants to hear that name. Yeah, nobody wants to give that type of credit right now for some reason. But yeah, Ajamang is really good in possession. He's got really good hold up play.
69th minute is brought to you by Superman, starring David Cornsweet.
Have you heard the early reviews of that?
I have not, actually. How are they?
What have you seen the trailers?
Yes, I have.
What do you feel about them? And be honest. Okay.
They're okay.
That's all you needed to say. That's all you needed to say.
Listen, it's a combination of a lot of things. It's like we've already had we've had 3 different iterations of Superman in the last 20 years. You know, because we had Brandon Routh, yeah, and now Cornsweet. And like to add to that with all of the DC stuff and all the Marvel stuff, I mean, I do think comic book fatigue is a thing at this point. I really do.
For sure.
Whoop. Sorry, wrong one in that one. That's the one I meant to do. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'm sort of burned out on like a lot of that stuff at this point. Right now, basically for me, I've just been reading. I've been watching like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Slam Dunk.
I think we go through eras. I think, we went through the post-apocalyptic society.
We had our vampire run for a while with Twilight.
Right, exactly. We had the Hunger Games Maze Runner, that run.
Oh yeah, Maze Runner.
What was the other movie? With, my gosh. It was like society was broken up into these different groups, and like there were thinkers and then like warriors and then like farmers.
Yeah, they were designated like from an early age.
Yeah,
that was like 10 or 15 years ago too.
Yeah, we went through that era, and I think we might be coming or leaving. Yeah, we might be coming out of or leaving the superhero era. To be honest with you. And I think what we're entering right now is like the gritty, long form, like Dune. Like how Dune is just kind of peak cinema right now.
Yeah, we have 4 different Beatles movies coming out.
Say again?
We have 4 different Beatles movies coming out.
Oh.
Real talk. I think I wonder if this Jurassic Park movie is going to actually be the first one to bomb.
Yeah, I mean, that's another one. Jurassic World, I don't know why no one makes this comparison. Jurassic World feels like, or there's just the Jurassic franchise, feels like Fast and Furious to me.
At this point.
Like, what?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
God. Wow.
That doesn't sound great.
I'm going to just wait for you to react to that one, sir.
That doesn't sound great. And it sounds like it's a Maddie thing. Oh, it sounds like it's a Maddie thing.
It's not a Maddie thing, but you're close.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh dude.
Alonso Martinez scores the equalizer for Costa Rica.
Come on then.
Oh, dude, that is so freaking hilarious.
I'm happy and sad at the same time. I'm happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah,
he's the real
Freese
deal.
Get the rebound
He's the real deal. He's a real deal.
Pass across and a great sliding score, shot attempt by Martinez on that. But
excuse me. Wow, he got through those two defenders so easily.
Yep, and Martinez doing the Shoryuken as he always does when he scores too. Wow.
Cuts it back. Boom. Bow. See, that's another thing, man. Like, I just forgot. Brendan Aronson.
Yep.
Tolkien, Aronson, McGlynn. Those are three guys that
we haven't seen. Have they done any subs yet? No, they haven't.
No subs. And it's the 71st minute.
Alonso Martinez, 4 goals and 5 assists in his last 6 international matches. So responsible for 9 goals total. Damn.
73rd.
And it's 71 minutes in. He's still playing. Remember, that was the problem that they had with him for a while was his longevity. They always had to pull him out at 55, 60 minutes in. 65
but keep in mind, like, as far as we've been watching this game, right? Does Costa Rica use him the way New York City uses him?
No, they're not. He's not.
And
he doesn't have to be the guy. He's just a guy.
No, but also he's not expected to make a run in behind, a 35, 40-yard run in behind every time the team possesses the ball. If you ask a guy to make, 20 sprints a game, he's gonna be gassed by the 60th, 70th minute. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the point I've been making this whole time about how they've been misusing him. They're asking him to do something that just isn't in. It's not real. It's not a realistic prospect for a player with his skill set or his profile. Like, he's not. No offense to him, but he doesn't have the best stamina, right? So to expect him to be a running behind, getting behind 1v1 guy for 90 minutes and then expect him to produce under those circumstances, it's just unrealistic. Very few strikers could do that. Very few players can do that.
Love it though. Oh, that's exactly what we're hoping for with this too, man.
What?
Alonso Martinez versus Matt Freese.
And the first wave of the first wave of subs, and Alonso's still on the pitch.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. We were just talking about that. I mean, back in the day, using him differently, granted. But, they used to – NYCFC used to pull him 65, 70 minutes in. We're closing on 75th minute, or actually in the 75th minute, and he's still out there. Credit to Costa Rica. Matt Freese with a tip, and I don't think – did he save that? Or did that actually go out as a corner? Because if that's a corner, that would be the first corner, I believe, for Costa Rica in this match.
Yeah.
Freese pleading his case, but he's pissed. So
he's claiming he didn't touch it?
No, he's in this case here. It was a tip off of a U.S. player, so he's trying to save the corner. So he wasn't, but it looks like he wasn't able to get enough of it to keep it in bounds. At least that's what's being contested. Yeah, corner kick now for Costa Rica.
Oh, that didn't touch Tyler.
He thought it did, and maybe it touched his hair. I don't blame Freese for making that decision on that one. So, that corner is up. And a couple of headers and the opportunity. Oh, Matt Freese with a leaping catch and basically figures it out. Yeah, we got a good one here. 2-2 right now. U.S. and Costa Rica. 76th minute in. Winner plays Guatemala on July 2nd, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Scott.
Yes, sir.
I want to construct a storyline for you here.
All right.
Matt Freese gets brought to New York City after having played behind one of the best goalkeepers that MLS has ever seen, really, in Andre Blake. Right? And I think, didn't he start in that game that we played against Philly in the year that New York City won the league?
Yes, because I was down there for that.
There you go. So he joins the team. Oh, my days. What a shot. He joins the team and has to compete for his position with Luis Braza. ultimately wins that competition, proves himself worthy, right? And the whole time, everyone's making a case for why he should be being called up, and it feels like he's being ignored and yada yada yada. Sure enough, he gets called up. Now he's in the Gold Cup. And right now, when it comes to the goalkeeper position in a national team, it's up for grabs, just like it was with Luis Barraza, right? And he's making a decently strong case right now, but it doesn't yet have the weight that it needs to have. And he's in a moment right now. We're watching him be in the moment right now where this is like where the timeline splits. If he has some sort of miraculous save that then leads to the team scoring and winning it ultimately by within 90 minutes, or the game goes to penalties and because of his performance, the team wins. He's absolutely at a point right now where if he seizes it, this is one of the best come up stories in sports history. And it's just I'm hoping for the best with him, because I really do genuinely believe, like objectively, even without having proven anything, I think he's the best option at goalkeeper that the United States has, and I think going into next year he should be the starter. I think he could be one of the leaders on the team. I think he's exactly what he's in the same mold. He's of the same mold. Say again?
U.S. with another corner, Berhalter taking it.
Gotcha.
79 minutes in.
He's cut from the same cloth as a lot of those guys that we celebrate from back in the day. So,
and cleared out. Not a whole lot on that corner right there.
Oh,
Martinez unable to keep it in, so it will be a throw in for the U.S. We are 79 minutes in. It is a game that is tied at 2, but offensively, shot-wise, has been very heavily the U.S. on that one. Shots have been 16-7, 4-4 overall.
He should let Diego take this. I know I'm really behind. I'm sorry, but
okay. No, actually, out of curiosity, I'm at 79-14. Where are you at?
78-45.
Okay. All right. So you're only 30 seconds. It's not bad. By the way, I also want to point out we just crossed 500 live viewers right now.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
What's up, live viewers?
Hi, guys.
That was actually kind of creepy because I wasn't looking at you at the moment. I just saw a head right here. So. But, 2-2. I mean, going right to shootouts after this, which is going to make it, like I said, really interesting. I would have to give advantage Costa Rica on that one.
I've been watching Berhalter.
Mm-hmm.
He has this kind of energy that I really love, and we've talked about it before when it comes to New York City and what it's sort of missing, and kind of is missing on in a national team. That MFer energy.
Yes.
That energy.
Talking about that, that vibe.
Yeah, you kind of need at least one guy out there who's down for all smoke. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He's like, you're not gonna bully any of my teammates. You're not gonna talk to me crazy. Don't roll around on the ground pretending to be hurt. Get up. I'll risk that yellow. You know what I'm saying? Like you need a guy like that you need a Gattuso, Gennaro Gattuso. What Gennaro Gattuso was for AC Milan, as a baller, he was not necessarily the most talented.
You need that instigator energy.
Yeah, he same thing with Sergio Ramos. I would, people rate Sergio Ramos as some sort of defensive mastermind. Like he really was just the MFer of that team. He was the tough guy, and and every team needs one. Every single team needs one, man.
Yep. Costa Rica pushing down the field. They got an opportunity. I think they're trying to set something up here. Just got inside the box. And an easy turnover, and the U.S. has it back if they can clear it. If you're U.S., you've got to be very, very careful right now. This is a Costa Rican team that I think has a lot of hunger and a lot of confidence.
100%, dude.
That goal that just happened by Alonso Martinez, I think, was exactly what they needed to get that confidence, not just to the equalizer, but with the belief of, okay, the first goal, fine, that was a PK. This one was real, and that came off a rebound, and it came off a great pass, and Martinez going in right in there with that left-footed shot, sliding left-footed shot. You know,
it's the 80. Well, for me, it's the 82nd minute.
Yeah.
Why are we not seeing any subs yet?
I'm surprised by this also.
This is concerning.
You know,
I get it. He's probably trying to save some guys for the maybe of Guatemala, right?
You're playing with fire. You got to focus on the now.
There's
I mean, right now, if this team loses, there will be no Guatemala.
Exactly.
You know,
you assess the. Go on.
Costa Rica hasn't been afraid to make substitutions, so they got fresh legs against tired legs here. You know, if the U.S. is trying to play for a draw and we're playing for a penalty.
Oh, Tolkien and McGlynn coming in right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. There we go. 83rd minute in total. Yeah. Well, see, that's what you needed to do. Surprising this late, but you know what? Smart move.
That's exactly the subs I would have made too.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that. Yeah. Diego Luna's coming out for McGlynn.
Oh, Diego.
Yeah. Yeah, and Arfston comes out for Tolkien. Nice. Dude with a couple of birds on there right on camera. I love it. Dude. Oh, yeah. 10 minutes late. We talked about that one. Anytime you see an F-bomb or dudes flipping off a camera on national TV, you got to love it. I love that crap big time. Could you imagine if the PKs come down to Alonso Martinez versus Matt Freese?
Dude, it's the narrative. I just saw the bird guy.
Yep,
the bird man.
It kind of reminds you of Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout in the World Baseball Classic a couple years ago.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Japan versus the U.S. You know, Shohei Ohtani was on the mound for the 9th inning. You know, when the U.S. was trailing, I think by 1, and he had to pitch against Mike Trout, his teammate with the Anaheim Angels, for a long ass time. You know, and the winner wins the entire World Baseball Classics, and Ohtani did strike out Trout to win it. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of that somewhat.
Tolkien is gonna add some necessary dynamism on that left side.
Yeah. But in this case here, we're at the 85th minute. There will be no extra time. It goes right to PKs on something like this, which personally I like because there's no extra 15s, no 30s in this case. Now I was taking it right down the field into the U.S.'s box. Possible turnover here. Costa Rica has an opportunity, a shot, and off the pipe. Oh, they had a huge opportunity right there.
Possible turnover.
Was that Martinez? Was that Martinez who missed that shot off the pipe? I'm not sure who it was. I think that was Martinez. He had another shot go right past Matt Freese and off the pipe there, and then kicked out for a corner.
Yeah, number 12.
Yeah, that's Martinez. Yep, it's Martinez.
Well,
he had a shot at a second goal of Matt Freese.
Oh my goodness,
dude.
Oh, this feels personal, Scott. Yeah. This feels personal.
And whichever team loses here, that player is going to come back on Thursday night for NYCFC. Corner out and an easy goal kick in this case.
Oh my gosh, off the post. And you know what? That's kind of been the story of Alonso's year.
Yeah.
Off the post. How many times has he hit the post for New York City so far?
Yeah, good shot. Great shot. Freese had no opportunity, no chance for that one.
100%. Too much pace on
it. Oh, we got a whopper of a match here, man. This is one of the best I've ever seen. It really is. The defensive line they allowed way too much on that. 100%.
I'd say the problem is Freeman here. I mean, you see him; he's the one that kind of gave the. And errors can happen. Don't get me wrong, but he's been out of place a lot this game. I would take him out.
There's 3 guys around, but there's 3 guys around, but no one within 4 feet.
Yeah, I would not have taken. Oh, who's this? Number 6. Is that McGlynn?
I think so. Yeah.
McGlynn.
Sorry, I was updating comments.
Oh, have it. Wow.
Foul there.
Yo, they're going down Alonso's side a lot now, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is.
Falta.
All right, more substitutions for Costa Rica on this one. Myrie and Kudingham in him. I'm not sure how much added time we're going to get on something like this. Maybe 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see 5.
Yeah. Shots right now are 4-4 on goal, but 17-8 in favor of the U.S. U.S. also has 16 fouls, too. It's a little high there.
Wow. Costa Rica's really making use of these subs.
Yep. They've been very smart and very methodical with it. And they're really putting the pressure on right now. U.S. is really struggling to get it. They got it out of the zone, got it back to midfield, but for how long is the question?
Why isn't Poch making any changes?
I don't know.
I'm not, and that's not to say that, you know, what another team does should determine what you do with your team, right? It should always be your game plan and what you're doing. But to some degree, there's got to be a call and response type of thing, right? It's
sure.
You know?
Yeah, we're in the 89th minute right now. Game is tied at 2. Costa Rica is out of subs at this point. U.S. still has 2 players available, I believe. It almost looks like both teams are going to play for the PK right now. It doesn't seem to be a lot of push at this moment.
I mean, yeah, they do have a bunch of numbers back behind the ball. The Downs sub is one I'm really confused about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to wonder in this case here if this does end up going to a PK. You know, you have to give the advantage, I think, to Costa Rica. I think you have to.
For the PKs, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure.
By the way, I will also be updating the banner at the bottom here. If it does go to PK, I will be updating every single one. I'm going to have a loop of like 3 of them at the same time. So every time one is done, I'm going to re-up the next one. So let me do that now.
Go ahead and let's take that tactical foul. I like that, Tolkien. That's what I mean. Oh my gosh, who is he bringing on right now? Ajamang off.
May as well.
Then you put on Brian White. Okay. I would have put on Brendan Aronson.
Yeah, officially in the 91st minute. We have 3 minutes of added time here, by the way.
Good try.
Yeah.
Oh,
the box.
That's nasty.
Opportunity, but nothing out of that. Tillman with the opportunity there. But we have a corner for the U.S. again right now. 9th corner of the game for the U.S. team, by the way. 9-2 for corners, I should mention.
Come on, there you go. Tolkien. Beat him. Beat your man.
Is it Berhalter again?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see, again, we're trying to figure out the timing on this as well, but
the window to make changes, and in my opinion, you always make a change in this window. Again, I'm not Pep Guardiola over here, but the window is 55 to 75. Anything after the 75th minute is wasteful.
Basically, yeah.
Time is precious. It's a precious commodity in general, let alone in a 90-minute soccer game. So to delay in that way is oh, that's a foul.
Nope. Game continues. U.S. trying to drive into the box here with an opportunity, a header, and it goes wide, and it looks like it's going to be another goal kick, I believe.
En caso de terminar el partido en empate, el ganador definirá en penales.
Lo siento.
Empate was the only word.
Mi español es muy malo.
Mi español es un poco... Oh! Es un poco bueno.
And we're officially at the 94th minute, so we have 3 minutes of added time. 94th minute. Navas kicks it right out of bounds, too. So the U.S. has... Nope. They do not have an opportunity. It's going to go to penalty kicks, gentlemen. Ladies, gentlemen, in any way you identify yourself. We are going to PK. Oh, this is the way it's got to be, man. You know. Oh, Alonso Martinez, you know.
It was always, we called this, didn't we? It was always going to be.
The way it was always meant to be.
It was always going to be this.
Now commercial for Taco Bell. You know Alonso Martinez is going to be facing Matt Freese at some point in all of this.
I got to record that.
Yeah. I'm sure it's going to show up on the highlight reels. I'm not sure how Fox Sports does it with OBS, but Apple TV doesn't allow OBS to record content anymore. It's kind of annoying. Because remember when I used to basically, when a goal was scored, I used to throw it up on Twitter like 3 minutes later. Can't do that anymore.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they block out the screen. Even in like this, I've tried a few different things there. Window capture, display mode. So I can record with like other content, like my phone or something like that. But it's like what the hell, Apple TV?
Look at our boy Matty. It's the moment's on him now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like the moment is on him now.
Like here we are.
It's a chance for him to shed the image.
Oh, so Trey just hit me with a really good point.
Trey Fillmore?
Yeah. Of the outfield. Matt Freese has a million reps on Alonso.
What do you mean?
He knows how Alonso tends to shoot.
Good point. Yes. I mean, one could argue actually Alonso has a million reps on Matt Freese too, but I see your point. It's going to hurt Freese a little bit more. But again, when it comes down to it, my opinion only, I think it comes down to the fact that Alonso would have the advantage here.
Say again?
I think Alonso has the advantage here, despite the record, despite the history and the struggles he's had in a PK. I think he would have the better option. So I will be updating, like I said, the banner at the bottom. We'll have every single one there.
I like to play a guessing game whenever I'm watching Pens. So you go bottom left, bottom right, top right, and middle, and you guess right before he takes it.
So
you want to play that?
What do you want to do?
You guess where he's shooting, where the penalty taker is going to be shooting.
We
bottom
can
left,
do that.
top left.
I will be focusing so much on basically updating the banner on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta update this.
I'll guess.
Yeah.
I'll guess. Wow, what a luck, man! We lucked out so much with that.
We did, yes.
It makes you almost wonder if, like, does the luck of that, does it play out that way just for us to be able to win the shootout and continue on? You know?
Yeah.
Because the Arfston goal, that's deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
That's by design. But without that Diego Luna goal, this game could finish 2-1.
Sure.
You know? So I don't know, man.
Yeah, and also, like I said, you got to look back at that. Remember, the Malik Tillman missed PK too. That was in there.
Oh yeah.
You know, that was a big. You know, that shot, that PK that was off. You know, off the left side of the post. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
You know, it's funny. Years ago, when there was the penalty shootout between NYCFC and New England, Sean Johnson had a fun conversation with Matt Turner, and they shared a few laughs. You can see there, Matt Freese is like having none of this right now. He is like all friggin' work mode. I remember asking Sean Johnson, you know, what he and Matt Turner talked about that day.
Wow, look at this. Keylor Navas and Matt Freese.
Matt looks like Costa Rica is going to be taking the first shot too.
Our boy Matty versus Keylor freaking Navas. This is not a nobody. This is a somebody.
Oh, really? Oh my God! Is Alonso going to be taking the first shot?
No way!
Is Alonso taking the first shot?
Don't say anything, please.
Okay.
I'm not gonna look.
Oh, you're motherfucking killing me, man! You're killing me. I can't even announce what's going on here.
No. Okay. Announce it. Fine.
I think Alonso Martinez. Yep. He's got to rise some. He just threw a wink to Matt Freese. Oh, I freaking love it. Love it.
Oh my God, the stories.
Oh, dude, he just threw a wink to Matt Freese.
No way.
Dude, this is so freaking awesome.
He's smirking walking out too.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, that wink meant everything. All right, here we go. Alonso basically with the first PK against Matt Freese, U.S. Costa Rica, and he gets the first goal. I told you. Alonso Martinez was going to get it.
Wow.
All right, so Costa Rica is already off to the early start with this. Like I said, every single shot I will be updating as we go. And yeah, Alonso was straight down the middle with that. So no tricks, nothing funny. All right, who takes it for the U.S. here?
And
we have to ask Alonso Martinez about that wink sometime.
Have to.
We got
to.
He
winked at him. And he winked at him.
He winked. It was such it was such a smirk, like, dude, I own your ass. All right, let's see what happens here. Tyler Adams. And he drops it in. Navas guessed correctly. Got a
little bit more excitement for that. We made one, right? That he made it in?
It was close though. Navas did get a finger on it.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did. I wasn't sure at first if that went in or not. Yeah, he got a hand on it and tipped it. He definitely dived the right way on that.
Oh wow, he did.
Yeah. All right, so it's back to Matt Freese again. Juan Pablo Vargas is actually taking this one right now. It's 1-1. Neither team has missed, but they've only taken one shot. Vargas with the miss. Matt Freese with the save. Oh, and he has got the energy. He has got the passion. He's got the excitement right there.
Oh, man, I wish I could react to this live with you.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So, yeah, right now, oops, let me fix that. The U.S. with an opportunity at this point. Take the lead.
Oh, wow, here. Matty. Well done, bro. This is his opportunity here, man.
That's one of those saves that basically when he lands a commercial spot, you know, that's the save they use. So Tillman is basically up at this point. with an opportunity to give the U.S. a 2-1 lead after 2 rounds in the PK. So
I have a question. Did he step off the line there?
What's that?
Did he have a foot on the line there?
Actually, I didn't see that. I'm sorry. So, like I said, I'm updating a fair bit here. Tillman comes up, and Tillman scores. So it is now 2 for 2 for the U.S., 1 for 2 for Costa Rica. Boy, oh boy! See, like I said, this is the shit that I love, and I really wish MLS would bring this in. You know, you throw it into a PK, maybe a best of 3, 2 points for a PK win. You know, I think I would love if Major League Soccer adopted this rule. I don't see them doing it, but I think it's a lot of fun. I really do, because there's just so much energy. And again, it doesn't have to be a top 5. It doesn't have to be best of 5. But you know what? I can live with 3 on that. You know, for a regular season match.
Instead of making them play a 3-game playoff series.
Yeah, well, that's true, yeah.
Basketball.
Santiago Vanderputten is next right now.
I gotta be honest, Vanderputten sounds like a made-up name from an Austin Powers movie.
Here we go. Vanderputten is in, and he gets it in by a layer of paint. Matt Freese guessed correctly. Matt Freese had a hand on it.
He's been guessing correctly so far, man.
Not put it down.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna go left. The kicker's gonna go left because that's the gap that I'm seeing from Matt right now. Oh, he went right. Oh,
and Freese guessed correctly, and he got a hand on it, but just not enough. Yeah. So now we got Berhalter. You know, with the opportunity.
I can see Berhalter burying this.
His father watching right now. His father's probably more nervous than he is right now, I'd imagine.
100%.
Like you're just like Greg Berhalter. He's sitting there watching his son in a PK in a Gold Cup match.
Absolutely.
Dude. It's got to be his father's dream right now, too. Berhalter up. And he shoots it over the top wide. It is a miss. We are now basically, both teams are now 2 for 3. So now it is basically right back down to square one again. Nothing's changed. And now we go into round 4.
He's got to breathe. Yeah, I know it already, you already announced it, but geez, man, I could tell he's nervous right here.
Yeah, you can tell he was pissed. His father cheered him on, Joe. He did a good dad thing there. Yeah, you could see the professional disappointment, but it's like, you know what? He, of all people, no one probably understands like he does, what it's like to watch this. None of us do, man. The amount of pressure on this. So, all right, so we're square through 3 rounds. Both teams have 2 out of 3 shots. And it was at Jefferson Brentis, I think, is right now. Setting up against Matt Freese. 4th round here. Costa Rica got one, missed one, got one. U.S. got the first 2, missed the 3rd. And now we're into the 4th round of it. And it is in. Matt Freese guessed correctly again, but still can't get his hand on it. So now the U.S. is behind the 8 ball. Because now the U.S. right now is 2 for 3, while hang on a second, let's do that one. While Costa Rica's 3 out of 4. So the pressure is absolutely 100% on the U.S. at this point. And here's the thing also, if the U.S. doesn't get this one and Costa Rica gets the next one, Costa Rica does win. So all the pressure right now is on the U.S. to keep this going. And it looks like it's going to be Malik Freeman on this one.
Freeman?
Oh, sorry, no, Alex
right
Freeman.
back?
No, I'm sorry, Alex Freeman. Sorry.
No, Freeman, the right back?
Alex Freeman.
Yeah.
I think.
Freeman. It's all on our right back.
Yeah. So let's see where we go. Here he comes, and he gets it. He gets it. A little bit of a chip, skip step there, but he gets the shot in. So now it is back to 3. Both teams are 3 out of 4 right now. Could this go past 5? Could this go past 6? Can my bladder hold out? Because I really have to pee right now. A little bit of a skip step there just to throw timing off for
Oh, that's a nice little run-up he did.
Yeah, it was a great run-up and a great top short.
That's a nice little run-up he did. That's really good.
So both
Freeman para liberar la presión.
Yep. Here we go. So we got a good chance right here. Either team can win it in this round.
Matty, come on, brother.
Clearly, probably the biggest PK that Matt Freese has ever taken right here. All right, here we go. And Freese with the stop, straight on.
No way!
Seriously?
Matt Freese with the perfect save. Didn't even have to move. Did not even have to move. Went right at his head. There we go, 3 out of 5. So the U.S. now with the opportunity to take this. It was an interesting shot because, like I said, it went right at Matt Freese. Like I think, honestly, it was a miscue. There's no way that shot was meant to go in that direction because what are you going to do? Hit him right in the face? You know, was that so the U.S. now has an opportunity to win this in PK. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens here. Pausing for dramatic effect. And taking the shot is Tolkien, by the way. Your dude John Tolkien, and all his hair, which is way better than mine. Tolkien on the right side, taking it with the left foot. And here we go. He runs in. And it is stopped. Navas with the stop, and we go to a 6th round now. We go to a 6th round. It is not done yet.
I mean, he's a fullback, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. It was a great shot. Honestly, it was a good shot. Had good,
it was just
right side, mid right side of the box there. It was just Navas just guessed correctly and just punched it out with one hand.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So now it is back to the 6th round. It is back to Costa Rica. Both teams have scored 3 and missed 2. Oh boy.
I'll show you the text that Trey just sent me after the Tolkien.
Sure thing.
It's expletive deleted Red Bulls.
Now it's Rojas. Andy Rojas, 19-year-old. Red Bull 2 with a chance to basically make some history.
The thing is, we have
the Iceman, don't we?
But in this case here, this is all of it right here. Can a MLS Pro 2 player to score? And no, he does not. Matt Freese with another stop. Freese is really showcasing.
I want the allegations to be dropped. I don't want anybody saying that Matty isn't good in pens anymore.
Dude, you know what? At this point, 3 out of 6 is damn good for PK. So now we have another opportunity for the U.S. to take this one. But Freese has done a very good job of guessing on this. It's like he's leveling up on PKs in this match right here. And Costa Rica's throwing everything they've got here at him in every single way. So who's it now? It's Damian Downs. Damian Downs has a chance to actually win this again.
The U.S. on the line.
The U.S. with a second opportunity now to win this thing if he can score here.
Yeah, that was a great save.
And here we go.
Matty is him, dude.
And the U.S. will move on to Guatemala. Damian Downs shoots left. Navas goes right. And the United States moves on in PK 4-3, and will face the Guatemalan team July 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. By the way, that would be 3:30 p.m. Pacific.
I want their praise to be as loud as their criticism. I want their praise of Maddie's performance in this to be as loud as their criticism. They were quick to get on him and say that he isn't good enough, and you know, world-class keepers don't make those type of mistakes, and da-da-da-da, and yada-da-da-da. Quality players step up in the quality moments.
Yes.
And that's just that.
And that is exactly in this case here. That was Matt Freese struggled a little bit in the PK early on, but he has really, really, really stepped up.
Struggled? How many saves in that penalty shot?
I know, but in this case, but also keep in mind, if I remember correctly, he stopped 3 out of the last 4 because he missed 2 out of the first 3. Actually, no, correction. He missed the first 2, I think. I believe he missed the first 2 and got the last 4. So the U.S. men's national team does move on. Woof. Yeah. So the whole thing about basically what happened with that last match, you know, Twitter is already raising his praise. This is basically so long Matt Turner. This was huge. So the U.S. team holds on and does actually basically pull out the 2-2 PK win. You know, they had the 2-1. They had the 2-1 lead. They lost it on, ironically enough, Alonso Martinez. So NYCFC fans will be getting Alonso Martinez back on Thursday, I'm sure. Which I'm sure against Toronto they're going to appreciate that one a little bit.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
This for me was also the deciding match between, and especially the way it was decided too, between who is the bigger big game player between our 2 biggest big game players. And it's clear, it's very obvious now, Matt Freese is our biggest big game player.
But to be fair, Alonso Martinez did everything he could have today. He scored a goal. He scored the first PK. He did exactly what was expected of him here today. He's younger than Matt Freese. He's not there yet, but he will be.
He will be. And that's fine. And it's not that's not a finite status, right? It's not something that's permanent. In a couple years, you know, that power dynamic is bound to change. But as it stands right now, and I think you would agree with this, that Matt Freese is always Matt Freese. Mm-hmm. Just a steely-eyed, you know, very sturdy nerves. He's always Matt freaking Freese.
Yes.
Alonso sometimes does not look like himself. Today, he looked like himself.
He did, yes. He did exactly, like I said, what he needed to be. And I think in this case here, this experience has leveled him up a lot too. You know, this has been a great chance for him to get that on the field experience at a bigger level than he's used to. And I think for NYCFC fans, I think there's a lot to be excited about because this is someone who has seen and played at a bigger level. Disappointment, no doubt. But I think for NYCFC, I think this is exactly what they need from him right now because he's played it at the biggest stage he's ever played in. He's done very well with 2 goals and a PK right there for the tournament. And now they get him back at the right time. You know, they've got the 1 game against Toronto, but then they have 4 games on the road after this.
I need to grind. I need to beat this dead horse. There was a lot of criticism that Matt got after that error versus who was it?
It was you're talking the game against who was it?
It was, I think, Haiti.
You're talking the 2-1 final. It was Haiti. That's right. Yeah.
And he got a lot of criticism, but the criticism wasn't just, you know, oh, he shouldn't have done that. It was that mistake is indicative of the larger problem that we always bring up players who aren't ready for the role, who don't have the nerve for it, who aren't ready for the. Are you kidding?
This will wash out that. Because, again, results.
This should absolutely wash out anything. This should buy him the kind of insurance that he could turn around and roof it into the net for an own goal, and we would still forgive him. That's how much insurance this should have bought him.
Now,
because it's one thing if you stand on your head for a game and the team wins resoundingly 2-0, 3-0, something like that, right? It's another if it does go to pens, and it could go either way. And because of you, right? The same way how it was for Sean Johnson in the PK shootout for the 2021 Cup, except this is a much bigger stage, if I'm really being honest.
This is a bigger stage here, yes. But you know what? Let's preview this a little bit right now. They have a match against Guatemala on Wednesday. Is it a winnable match for the United States team? Start there.
Is this a winnable match for the United States team against Guatemala?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. It is. Like I was saying earlier, the journey that the United States as a country in the sport in the soccer world obviously has been making since the 1994 World Cup. Mm-hmm. By now, the answer to that question should be of course. Mm-hmm. Man, he wants us to win some games this month. That the answer to that question should be of course. Because with the diversity of our talent pool and the players that we have playing on the teams that they're playing on, this should be an obvious given. Granted, we don't have a ton of those players, mm-hmm. but just for this pool to produce players of that quality is what I'm saying, right? It should mean that even our B team, even our C team should be able to compete well in a mm-hmm. regional tournament such as this one, right? Against Guatemala, no offense to Guatemala at all. And I'm sure there's some ballers on there. But for me, Guatemala is not a team that the United States national team should be worried about. Not with Pochettino, not with the players that we have at our disposal.
Now, if you look at a team like the Guatemalan team, right now they have outscored their opponents 5-4 all the way through, which is pretty tight, including today. Ruben is the only player on that team that scored more than one goal, and he's at 2, including today.
You like this one?
Yeah, I can approve
I'm reposting it.
Right now, basically, I have 314 people on my live stream for my own Twitter page. So I'm not even going to worry about it.
Go on.
500 something on the Stream Punk one, by the way. So hopefully the lacrosse channel is getting a little bit of love on that too. But yeah, no, I think the U.S. team right now, you know, now I'm jumping ahead, I got to admit, but they have the match against Guatemala, but also Mexico and Honduras have a match that night. So if they beat Guatemala, then next Sunday night, we're going to be, you and me are going to be back here again.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the U.S. Gold Cup final. So you bet your Hifley ass we're going to be back here. Yes, I said Hifle and ass at the same time. I know. But
I was looking for this. I was just looking for this thread, man, where everybody was on Twitter just taking turns, on Maddie, and it's just I love it when a performance just shuts people up. He didn't say anything. He didn't come out in the press saying anything. He let his game talk, and that's the Maddie that we know. You know this. We've been watching him for years now. He let his game talk. And this is what I mean about pushing the knee. Say again?
I have a question for you when you're done, but yeah, go ahead.
Just really quick about like what I was speaking about when it comes to how when we could say that a team is better. Are they doing something? Is this team or person doing something that we've never seen them do before? So pushing the needle for Maddie, for me today, is penalties. How he performed in that penalty shootout is something we did not expect from him.
Yes. It's what he needed to shake something off. Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I think there is a before and an after Maddie. And I think like that metamorphosis started in that goalkeeper competition between him and Luis. And I think it ended today.
Sure.
And I think the Matt Freese that we are about to experience from here henceforth until the end of his career, he is going to finish his career as a national team legend. 100%. 100%. Like, he's now fully grown into the complete product. Like, he's constantly getting better in some shape or form, and has managed to develop the consistency that sets players apart from the average guy. And man, like I said, this is the type of game that Matty years from now is gonna reminisce about on his armchair with gray in his beard and his knees don't work, right? He's gonna reminisce about this game because this was a coming out party if I've ever seen.
He's at the book signing for his autobiography.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, in this case, obviously, this game is internationally watched. So you bet your butt Europe has been watching this game. And I bet in this case, depending on what happens with the next two, I think there's going to be a very, very strong push for some team in Europe to take him on. And I'm not talking like one of the lower end teams. I think, you could look, I'm not going to say Premier League, but you know what?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Do you think
why not?
Do you think they would turn over? Do you think a team like Arsenal, Man City, or Nottingham Forest, anyways, do you think they would actually turn over their starting role to an American?
No, they wouldn't, right? But we're in an era of teams that historically are not the big names, outperforming expectations. We've seen Leverkusen, we've seen Bologna, we've seen Napoli, which is not it's not a nothing club, but they've come back to the fore when it comes to Serie A. These clubs that tend to be also Rands, right, are now leaders. The Como team. You have, I could go on and on, Doug. And these are the types of teams that I feel like Atalanta. These are the types of teams that I could see him going to and earning. He wouldn't walk into the 11, no. But could he earn? Could he be allowed to compete? I absolutely think that. Absolutely think that. So, yeah, like does he go to an Arsenal? Does he go to a Man City or anything like that? No, he does not. But does he go to a team in flux? Does he go to a team that's struggling right now? Right? Does he catch United on its downswing, right? And then and get baked in on their upswing, right? Tim Howard at one point was their go-to keeper. Why wouldn't there be a second coming, right? So absolutely, I could see him in any of the top leagues, and I'm saying that not just from everything I've just said, but now within the bubble of, is he just a good keeper? Is he good at his job? Yes. He's faced all types of competition, all types of talent, but at this point, he's faced Messi. You get what I'm saying? Yep. And this is the same Messi who, got eliminated by PSG in not the best fashion, but it's still Messi. Like he does. And my point is, like, he competes at a high level and he competes well and he's consistent. I can see him absolutely making the leap. Now, am I happy about that? No, I'm not. That doesn't please me. It doesn't please me as a fan of my hometown club. No, but as a fan of Matthew, for sure. As a fan of Matthew, 0 goals allowed versus Messi. Say that louder for the people in the back, Davi. 0 goals allowed versus Messi. His and I believe the record against Messi as well. I don't think it's only been draws in have we lost against him?
No, it's all been draws.
It's all been draws. He hasn't lost against Messi yet either. Right? So I'm telling you, it's right there. There's teams already. There are teams that are already considering it, and it's partly because of obviously how well he's been playing and the performances against which competition, but like also generally, for a while now, American keepers have always held a lot of weight in the global transfer market. So, Dior. Oh yeah, we lost that one.
There was that friendly match. Remember?
Oh,
NYCFC did win that match, I believe, too, 2-1.
Oh, we have beaten Messi. No, well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That is, I'm less saying that we've beaten them and more that that he's never lost against the best player of all time.
Fair.
And absolutely, their team's considering it. I wouldn't be surprised if Bundesliga teams came in. I could see mid-table Prem teams. We own Messi. I could absolutely see a decent Serie A team. I could see, you know what I'm saying? Like he would work on any one of those. And it's not the best news as a fan of the club, but it's great news if you're a fan of Matthew, which we have been for a while now.
I'm going to call it because I really have to pee at this point.
Yeah, you're struggling. Okay.
Dude, I got a 50-year-old bladder over here, man. So
Fair
anyway,
enough, man.
Appreciate the time, though. I was grateful for all the way through.
Yeah,
thanks to
Wednesday,
everybody
right?
watching. I've been watching those numbers. I'm going to look forward to seeing these numbers at the tail end of this. But yeah, we're going to follow what's going to happen here. I am uncertain if I can do a live stream for Wednesday with the Guatemala match. Okay. However, if they do win that match, yes, 100%, I will be there to cover the finals of this and see where the U.S. team, whether it's Honduras, whether it's Mexico, either way, we will be there also for it. So, but anyway, I'm Scott. Halen, you got anything else, man?
Nah, that's it, bro.
All right. So thank you as always for tuning in for the last 2.5 hours. Grateful. Appreciate it. Stay well. Stay awesome.